Hi guys. So, maybe you're like me and you like bands like the Foo Fighters, Oasis, Kings of Leon, right? And others that have a semi-hollow guitar. Or maybe you like B.B. King or or a jazzer and you want a semi-hollow guitar. You've seen the Gibsons and you thought, I wish my parents were richer. Why haven't they worked harder? Uh, you know, I could have some inheritance money there. Or you've looked at Epiphone, or you tried an Epiphone, but it wasn't quite the thing. Although, these guys that I mentioned, I think they all used Epiphones at some point. I don't know about Foo Fighters, but Oasis definitely, and Kings of Leon as well. Obviously, there's other brands now. There's Harley Benton that makes good guitars. Apparently, Earth and Growth and Firefly. The semi-hollow guitar, which was one of the most complex guitars to manufacture because there's different parts. There's the neck that is set in, usually. It can be a bolt-on. The Fender Starcaster, again, it could be a Fender Classic Vibe Starcaster. It's a bolt-on, but this one's usually, the traditional design is a set neck. This is a piece of wood, a laminate wood. It can be solid, again, but usually it's a laminate wood that is bent. So it's not carved because it's not taking wood away. It's given this shape, and then again on top, and then again on sides. All of these, usually it's a slim piece of wood. If you imagine that is bent with steam to give all this shape. It has the F holes that a lot of the times are bound. Usually there is binding around the guitar. This one has a 5-ply binding. So it's a more complex design than, for example, a Telecaster that is a flat body, so any wood cut, rounded around the edges, pickguard on top, bolt-on neck, off you go. A lot of these 335s or semi-hollow designs are more complex, and you're not sure. You've heard about Eastman. Everyone is talking about them. Everyone says, "Oh, it's like custom shop Gibson." But how can I think these ones go for around 1,000 and 15, no, between 1,000 and 2,000 pounds, possibly similar in dollars, from the 386 to the most expensive. I think it was the T184 MX or QX that was like all solid woods, flamed solid woods. Some have Bixby's, which is the T486B for Bixby, and but you're not sure. Should you go for it? Well, the T486, which is what I have here in this limited edition black, has a few things going for it that I really like. It has these beautiful inlays that's, again, in Gibson land. And I use Gibson as terms of comparison because it's the oldest brand that you could compare to. They created the 335. They are the original designers of that guitar, but Ted McCarthy, in 58, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So obviously this is an homage to that. We cannot ignore, shouldn't disrespect the artists in the end, or the company that created this sort of guitars that we like so much. But the fact is, they can be very expensive. Obviously there's a value to that. There's value to having a really good Gibson. I wouldn't mind, obviously, if I could afford to have a custom shop 335, but apparently the production Gibsons are very hit and miss. There are great ones, there are ones that are not so great, and sometimes they really make you pay for features. Like if you want trapezoid inlays or the split parallelogram inlays, you need to pay a lot more. Or if you want extra binding on the neck, you need to pay a lot more. Or binding on the headstock, you need to pay everything. It's like pulling features from them. While Eastman gives all these features: the bound headstock, the bound neck, bone nut, split parallelograms, Seymour Duncan pickups, beautiful pick guards, nitro finish, bound F holes, quality switchcraft, jack and CTS pots. All of these for a very reasonable price, for less than the standard 335, and I think that's what should compare it to. We should compare it maybe this to a Gibson Studio, the Studio 335. I think that should be a fair comparison. You pay a lot more for even the Gibson Studio. I think brand new there it's around 700 quid difference, and you don't get these features. But maybe it feels different. Maybe it's a feel that you prefer. But what about this Eastman? All right, let's give it a go. Let's hear it. All right, and let's see if you can figure out if there's anything that would be interesting. I only play songs, really. I'm not really great improviser. I'm not shredder. I'm not anything. I just like to play songs and little riffs here and there. So I'm sorry, this is the best that I can do. I wish I could do more. I'm practicing. I'm still learning. I didn't have the means to get better earlier. I apologize. what does this playing, what does all these sounds demonstrate? It demonstrates that this guitar does its purpose of being a semi-hollow. Now, you're hearing it plugged straight into the computer, which is how many of us play these days. Straight to computer or into a modeler with headphones. I don't have any air moving here. Now, I have played it in front of an amp, or now, outside with people. I know, crazy guys. I know, I'm a savage, and I take that back. That was very cringeworthy, and it doesn't fit back, which is a problem that I had with the other guitar. Maybe I just need to wax spot those pickups, but with this guitar, it doesn't fit back. It's amazing, and you feel it all moving, and that's the amazing thing about the semi-hollow. You play the and you feel it all moving with the air and the power. It's great. It's great. And when you're standing up, it's completely different to a Les Paul. Here, sitting down, it feels like an acoustic basically, and you can hear it. So if you want to play. You can hear it. But standing up, let me try to demonstrate. It goes right against your body, and it's like, and you can, obviously with your strap, put it whatever you want it. But it's a mighty feeling. So this is what's the point of this video in the end? It's a review, it's a demo, it's a rant about semi-hollow guitars, their value and their origin. And I think with Eastman, what a lot of people end up feeling is that their money, their earnings, their sweat and tears that we have to put up with work that sometimes we don't love to earn our fair share, is valued and is rewarded with a quality instrument, the instrument that you feel like you're paying a fair price. I never heard a person buy an Eastman and say, go check online, go see the reviews. No one ever goes, yeah, I bought it and I think this was overhyped. I think it's an unreasonable amount of money for this guitar. It's definitely not worth. It's the same as any other production guitar. No one ever says that. Even the lowest semi-hollow, which is I think the cheapest Gibson. Gibson's on my mind. The cheapest Eastman, which is the T486. That basically, again, I'm not sure if it has binding here. It has dots, no binding on the headstock. Kent Armstrong pickups instead of Seymour Duncan. It's still a quality guitar, good electrics, and some people prefer that look. And for 100,000 quid, definitely you can get one. So, and even people that bought it say, oh yeah, for this amount of money, it's more than reasonable. And there's different colors, black is a limited edition, but usually it's the classic, which is a great color. It's like a brownie natural color. Red, which is translucent, you can see the grain, and sunburst. I really think it's a wise choice. You won't be able to look in the mirror and say, oh, I have the same guitar that this and that have. But you can say, I have the same sort of quality that such and such have, which in my opinion is of greater value to me personally. That was all. Sorry for wasting your time if you feel that way. I just wanted to make a video sharing my experiences. I want to go for my guitars again, show them to you, share, see if I think it's worth it or not. And hopefully we can all learn together. Feel free to comment what you think. If you think I'm wrong, how am I wrong? If you think that I'm right, what has been your experience? If you have other brands or alternatives, or brands that you think are great value as well, because you feel like you've paid what it's for. You paid not only, it's not like good for the money, but it's actually, oh, this is a great guitar and it costs a reasonable amount of money. Feel free to share that under this video. Okay, thank you so much once again for your time. Time is precious, time is money, we all know that. So I'll see you next time. Until then, take care.